Hello everybody and welcome to my book review on the book Conscious Loving by Gay and Kathleen Hendricks. I have to say I'm very happy when I heard that we had to go through this book and make a review on it because I came across it about a year ago as an audio version, and I said to myself, one day I have to read this book properly because it's a working book as well as lots of theory in it. So there's lots of content that really needs to be worked through. So this is what I'm hopefully going to do for probably the rest of my life. In my overall view, this book is a kind of revelation. I think it is one of the most important books I've ever come across in my life. And I was desperately trying to find the German version, but I didn't. So I hope one day this book is going to be translated in any language. And in my opinion, it should be brought into schools. People should know about it. I'm a person, I grew up in a so-called dysfunctional family. And I had, in this family, there was no real love to get. There was no security. It was like a kind of fight for survival. So I adapted to that kind of state, to the stressy state in my mind. I developed lots of sick patterns. I was stuttering. I had no self-esteem at all. I even went into big depression for many years. I developed a scoliosis. I had lots of tics, lots of addictions, and many more things. And this book reveals it all and gave me especially information on all the connections and all the knowing that stands behind this kind of patterns and blockages that I and many other people, I suppose, especially of my generation, adapted and put on just to survive. So they actually give in that book explanations on how everything develops, how do you call it? They call it codependent. Yeah, they call it codependent. How codependent states develop from early childhood, even they go even back to birth. There was one experience they mentioned, one fact they mentioned that really thrilled me. For example, about the problem defining boundaries. They were actually explaining about this interesting state of being born, and then they cut your umbilical cord, and you're actually ready to be separate now, but then you fall into a deep depending on your mother and her caring. And if that doesn't work out, all those problems that just develop out of that. So that actually gave me lots of insight about so many other things. And I've committed to the commitments also with my boyfriend. So this is going to be an interesting story to be continued. Too challenging. Well, I found two of the commitments very challenging. That was the commitment to take over 100% responsibility on my creation, on my creativity. That actually I found very, very liberating. It actually did change so much already. Classical situation, I'm in an argument with my boyfriend. And within the argument, I suddenly realize, this is not what I want. And I just stop doing it. And I feel that I have the power to make this decision, and I have the power to change it right in that moment. And I knew these things before. But it's a different thing seeing it all from a bigger connection with all those insights they're actually giving away in that book, Gay and Kathleen Hendricks. So to make it absolutely clear, and it actually helped me to make that step from the theory to the practical. And it did work. So that for me was absolutely amazing, and I'm very much, very eager to carry on that path. And another commitment I find quite challenging was, or is, hold on, it's committing to having a good time in a relationship. And in the book, they give it the name the upper limits problem, which I find quite entertaining on one hand, and on the other hand, it's actually quite sad, because it really gives away that most people, or a lot of people, must have this problem, otherwise they wouldn't have created that name. That we're actually, it's sometimes easier to reduce our life force and our energy, probably even our happiness and our good feelings, just to fit into society and become a part of it, because maybe our fear is too big to not be part of the society. So we adapt that, and they also describe this really well in the book, the upper limits problem. I really go conform with that. And it also helps me a lot to understand it, to change it. And I also had to laugh when they mentioned the killer belief. One of the killer beliefs, they put it in those words: this experience is not the one I'm supposed to be having. This actually, first it made me laugh when I read it, and then it made so many things clearer and easier to do for me as well. Yeah, it helps me to get out of that victim mentality and really become a grow-up that takes decisions and stands behind them. I'm 55 years old now, so it took me quite a long time to get to this point. I never had I never had psychotherapy, so I got all my knowing from books and videos and all kind of alternative sources, but not from proper theory. So this book for me is like theory, therapy. Sorry, not theory. Therapy. It's both theory and practical and therapy. So to me, it is like therapy. And I think it's the easiest way probably for a lot of people to find out about themselves without having to go, for therapy for many years. So this is why I also can highly recommend this book. And they give away so many good exercises where I can really practice it and make the most out of it. What else did I put down? There are a few sentences that I really liked, and they've actually become a part of my, how do I call this? A part of my jewelry box. One is, the beauty of love is that you can grow it yourself. I think that is so profound. And the other one is, any feeling fully felt leads to love. I kind of knew it and I practiced it, but it's a different thing to have it put into these wonderful words with many examples and descriptions. So that really makes it like grabbable. You can hold it. It makes it real. So this is what I think is one of the big advantages of that book. Yeah, it does combine the background knowing with the way to practically help people to get out of their misery. And especially people like me who really probably will carry on for the rest of their lives to work on their past experiences, trauma and stuff, and try to liberate themselves. I find this book highly important. So thank you for making me read it, and I would love to say so much more about this book, but I know we only have 10 minutes and I think I'm over those. Oh no, I'm not. 9 minutes already. 9 minutes only. So I would have one minute left. So what am I going to say in 1 minute? How do I want to integrate it in my work as a breath worker? I can imagine that it changes me. This book changes me, especially when I work with it. That makes me a better space holder, because what I really want is help people to empower themselves. I want to become a person that can really be there with lots of experiences that I've gone through already, and this is what I can offer to people that come to my place. Not by telling them the story of my life, but by knowing that I was there where they probably are, and I've come I've come over it, and I found a solution, and I'm here now. I'm strong now. I feel happy. I still have to do lots of work, but earlier on I would have never thought that I would ever get to a point where I am now, having a relationship for 20 years now, and still being positive about developing and making things better, and with this enthusiasm and this big trust that everything will fall into place, or has already fallen into place, and it's our work to reveal it, the people that work with themselves and help others. So I feel very much called to be a breath worker, to be a therapist, not in the sense that most people would understand it, but to help people to help themselves. Be a space holder, be a person that is there and knows what it's all about, at least a part of it. I love the sentence, you teach best what you need to learn yourself. I've become a therapist because of that, and it's just a path that I needed to take. So yeah, for me, this is my way. So it's that. And also, yeah, I forgot to mention what I also really appreciate about the book was everything I learned about communication skills, because I've never learned so much about that, and I find it really helpful to learn about how to solve the problems, how to communicate them. Yeah, as I said, all the practical stuff. So yeah, okay, I have to stop now, sorry. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good time. Bye.